Hello, a warm greeting. My name is Nathalia Colón Vázquez. I'm a graphic designer at the University of Puerto Rico in Carolina, and today I will be talking with you about color and good practice in techniques for the design of effective presentations. The first thing we will be talking about today is color and mood. And no, you don't hear me wrong. Color has mood. Color transmits message. Human beings are visual beings. We perceive a lot through the colors that surround us. Furthermore, colors also have a cultural influence. For example, it is supposed that humans have an aversion to the color brown due to its association with the decomposition, and that the color red draws our attention because it is a universal sign of high emotional component. Presentations that are not only visual but also tactful when it comes to the color have a better chance of communicating your message more effectively. The first thing we will do when selecting the color of our presentations is to identify the mood of it. What is your message looking for? What is your purpose for the presentation? As you can see in the graphic, each color has their own meaning. The important thing is to know how to select colors and create effective combinations. I mark with pink the color black, gray, and white because although these colors have their individual meanings, they are also colors that will help us create balance, especially if we are beginners in this thing that implicate think before selecting the color of our visual presentations. Here we can see an example of how we will work with balanced colors in the presentation that have to do with health. We can use a color such as red, but we have to think about our audience when we are working with our colors. So here we can see how we go from a completely red and somewhat loaded presentation to a presentation that follows the same topic, the same design, but use red as an accent and stay with white as a base color. A combination of a strong color and a neutral color, making balance. At the bottom, you can see the color Canva link. Visit the link. It is a lot of information about colors, their meaning, and how to use them. I will leave the link in the description box of the video. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about color theory and how it can help us create effective combination for our visual presentations. First, we have two color combinations that are the most used when creating visual presentation based on color theory. These are the monochrome combination and the analog combination. Monochromatic color combination is when we select a color and use it in various shades, but still the same color. It is a classic combination, easy to execute, even without much knowledge about color. In addition, we have an analog color scheme. The analog color scheme are those colors between which there is harmony. Those colors that are close to each other in the color wheel and that are very similar, although slightly different. This combination adds variety to the presentation. This is good for helping people pay attention, enjoy, and consider complicated issues in your presentation without overwhelming them. In the screen, you can see an example of a monochromatic and an example of an analog presentation. And here we can see an example of a combination of complementary colors. The complementary colors are those that are facing each other in the color wheel. This will get the attention. When we see complementary colors side by side, the brain is overloaded in a good way. In the screen, we can see an example of a complementary combination with yellow and blue. And last but not least, we have the triad color scheme, which are three colors equidistant on the color wheel, forming a triangle. This is a color scheme for users who are more into the color theory, and it's used in presentations. When using the triad correctly is an example of balanced and attractive presentation. However, the margin of error is very small and it is very easy to be wrong. A tip that could help us manage this color combination is to select one of the three colors as a base color and with the other two colors accentuate during the presentation, emphasizing certain part of the presentation. Always keep in mind that you need to make balance in your presentation. In Adobe Color, we can play with our color combinations and select the type of combination that we want to create. I leave the link in the description box. And here we can see the golden rule. The most important thing when we are working with visual presentations is that everything is clear and visible. Therefore, we must always remember that if we use a light background color, our font must be dark. And if we use a dark background color, our font must be light. This is very important for the easy understanding of our presentation. Well, I hope you like this. It has been a pleasure to be here with you. I left my contact information on screen in case you have any questions or need any information. Thank you very, very, very much.